Welcome to the Gran Turismo 4 Prologue bonus lessons. Starting with this lesson, you'll learn readily applicable skills designed to win races. For the first of these lessons, you'll practice passing an opponent on the inside of the second hairpin corner of Tsukuba circuit. When you're driving by yourself, you can take the ideal line through the corner. However, with an opponent on the track, your line has to be at least slightly faster. How do you manage this? The answer: delay braking at the entrance to the corner and slip into your opponent's racing line. This way, he won't be able to stay on the ideal line. Take care not to make contact with your opponent's car. Play fair by making smooth passes, and timely use of the brake should bring you in line with your opponent, allowing you to pass. Best of luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 27. In the last lesson, you learned how to pass your opponent on the inside of the racing line, but that strategy won't work every time. Time now to learn how to pass on the outside of your opponent. This lesson takes place in the same area, the second hairpin corner of the Tsukuba circuit. As you approach the corner, if it seems too difficult to pass your opponent on the inside, don't risk it. Align your car with your opponent on the outside and race like that to mid-corner. Then turn harder than usual. Near the end of the corner, your opponent will come back to the outside. You, on the other hand, will brush by your rival on the inside, creating a chance to pass the car on the following straight. This is, of course, the same line you learned in an earlier lesson that emphasizes corner exit speed. This technique is effective when used on a corner that precedes a long straight. Best of luck in the lesson. Welcome to lesson 28. In this lesson, you'll be practicing a technique crucial for high-speed circuit racing, the slipstream pass. The location is the well-known high-speed track, the Fuji International Speedway. If you drive behind a car driving at high speed, the air resistance affecting your car is lowered and you get sucked forward as your speed increases. Using this speed boost to your advantage is what the slipstream pass is all about. In an earlier lesson, you already practiced braking techniques into corner 1. Now you'll learn to drive right behind your opponent's car, then just before you reach corner 1, slip into the inside. Try not to be either too early or too late on your grab for the inside. If you make your move too early, you won't be able to take full advantage of the other car's slipstream. If you're too late, you won't line up correctly next to your opponent. Using the slipstream is all about timing. Give it a few tries until you can get a feel for the perfect moment. Now, good luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 29. Finally, your chance has come to experience a real race taking place on the Tsukuba circuit. As you start, the opponent's car is 10 seconds ahead of you. You have 3 laps to overtake him. By now, you should be comfortable driving on the Tsukuba circuit. However, now you have to pass your opponent successfully, and you'll have to consider the best passing points. Ideal points include the entrance to the first corner, the 2 hairpins, and the last corner. Consider the distance between you and your opponent and the differences in your lap times to determine approximately where you will catch up with his car. It isn't easy to overtake on the Tsukuba circuit, so you should try driving a variety of lines and study the different passing possibilities. This is not a 3-lap time trial. You will pass the test only by overtaking your opponent and maintaining your lead for a duration of 10 seconds. Be very careful not to make contact or you will be disqualified instantly. Best of luck! another coffee break. For this course, 100 cones have been lined up on the beginning course of the driving park. Touch them as fast as possible for the best trophy. The cones are aligned to the racing line. On the corners, this means they're placed in an out-in-out formation, giving you a chance to review your basic driving knowledge. If you find yourself unable to knock them all over in one go, this could be a symptom of over-enthusiastic steering or poor accelerator control. Enjoy your coffee break. Welcome to Lesson 30. For this lesson, we'll move to the Fuji International Speedway and try a race. The basics are the same as on the Tsukuba circuit, except this time with more laps. You now have 5 laps to pass a rival car that's 10 seconds ahead of you at the start. The Fuji International Speedway is one of the few high-speed circuits in Japan. The overall speeds you'll be encountering are much higher, so don't get nervous if you don't seem to be catching up. Just keep your head and plan an attack. You will of course need to be considering the best passing points while you're racing. The passing points are the entrance to corner 1, the following complex corner called A, the hairpin, and corner B, which you encountered in an earlier lesson. On the final straight, you may have the opportunity of overtaking using your opponent's slipstream. In order to pass this lesson, you must overtake your opponent and retain your lead for 10 seconds. Best of luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 31. You've raced on the circuits, so now let's try racing in the city on the New York street course. You'll have 3 laps to overtake the rival car, which will start with a 10-second lead. This is a very different challenge to the open circuits, and with the guardrails and barriers you have limited room. Try to take the ideal racing line and put pressure on your opponent. A number of the straights are connected by 90-degree corners, so you'll have to beat your opponent by braking more efficiently at the end of one of the straights. Many people tend to avoid braking and enter the corner at too high a speed, only to collide into the barrier on the exit. Therefore, keep a cool head. Remember, the best braking points for each corner and the best spots for passing will soon become evident. If you attempt to overtake wildly, you're bound to collide with your opponent, so be sure to look for the correct exit point. After overtaking your opponent, you must maintain your lead for 10 seconds in order to pass this lesson. Good luck! Welcome to lesson 32. The rules of the race will change starting with this lesson. Their location is once again Tsukuba Circuit. there will be 3 cars ahead of you. See how many you can pass in one lap, with one very strict condition: you are not allowed to make contact. Sounds difficult? Just remember all you've learned in the lesson so far and keep calm. You need to have definite plans in mind for overtaking the opponent cars. For example, which car on which bend, as potential overtaking points are limited. If you fail to overtake, you'll be hard-pressed to recover your time. Once you make the decision to overtake, you must be confident in your approach. At the same time, you need to avoid any contact with your opponents, so as you overtake, watch their movements closely. When you're going for the inside before a bend, it's important to position yourself alongside your opponent whilst braking. If you move to the inside just before the clipping point, before letting your opponent know you're there, you will make contact and be disqualified instantly. First place will give you a gold trophy, second place silver, and third place will result in a bronze. Don't worry, while this seems difficult at first, you'll soon make good progress. Best of luck. Welcome to Lesson 33. The rules for this lesson are the same as for Lesson 32. This time you're on the Fuji International Speedway again with 3 cars ahead. See how far you can work your way up in one lap. The same tough rule applies this time round. If you make contact, you're out. You'll be driving a racing machine rather than a training car, so the average speed is overwhelmingly faster. This is a high-speed circuit, so take full advantage of it. Be warned that there are more complex corners here than on the Tsukuba circuit. Let the other driver know you're there before you slip into the inside on a pass. If you make contact or another car makes contact with you, you'll be disqualified. Pass all 3 cars for the gold, 2 for the silver and 1 for the bronze. Give it your all right up to the checkered flag. Now, best of luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 34. You've now successfully overtaken 3 cars on both the Tsukuba and Fuji international circuits. Now, for the last stage, let's try it on the streets of New York City. Again, you have only 1 lap, and making contact with your opponent's car is out of the question. If you remember, you practiced overtaking on this course in lesson 31. Well, now there are 3 rivals instead of 1, but the basic rules are the same as ever. Keep cool and try your best. This time, since you're in a race car rather than a training car, you'll notice the significantly improved braking performance. As a result, on the corners you can wait a bit longer before you start braking. Check where the new braking points are for each of the corners. The maximum speed on the straights is determined by your exit speed from the previous corner. While cornering, it's tempting to concentrate on the braking, but your speed on the straight will make the difference between victory and failure. So make sure you achieve a high exit speed. This is the perfect time to make use of the line that emphasizes your exit speed as you've practiced several times before. As with your previous race, you'll be judged based on your ranking. First place takes a gold trophy, second place a silver, and third place a bronze. Good luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 35. Now that you've reached the last in a series of hands-on race lessons, let's see what you can do in a full-on race. The race will take place at the Fuji International Speedway. You'll start in last place as the 6th car with 10 laps remaining. See how many rival cars you can pass. You have 10 laps, which means you'll have plenty of passing opportunities, so take your time and knock off the cars one at a time. On the final straight, make full use of the slipstream. If you can't get a following car off your back, block it by taking a clean line. Always keep an eye in your rearview mirror. Go for the gold by making use of all the techniques you've accumulated so far. The trophies will be awarded in the usual manner, with the winner receiving the gold, second place a silver, and third place bronze. Coming in fourth place or below will fail. Best of luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 36. This lesson is a bit unusual. Your training car is a Toyota Prius hybrid car which you'll use to complete a time trial using the least petrol possible. Good fuel mileage and speed are often contradictory, so it's hard to achieve both. The idea will be to aim for the best balance of the two. Take one lap around Tsukuba circuit as fast as you can while maintaining the minimum mileage as shown on the on-screen indicator. The Prius utilises both a fuel engine and an electric motor. The diagram on the lower left shows the status of that hybrid system. When you use engine braking without accelerating and with weaker braking, the Prius recharges the battery from this braking force. For this energy-efficient time trial, you'll use the instantaneous mileage and consumed fuel meters shown on the lower right of the screen. If you accelerate too hard, you'll notice the mileage indicator drop like a stone. So the trick to driving in an energy-efficient manner is to go easy on the accelerator and to avoid hard braking. The mileage displayed is current as to that point, so it's okay to go below the target mileage temporarily. The idea is to choose the stretches of the course where mileage takes priority and the spots where there's a need for speed. Best of luck in this lesson. The last coffee break. This stage now wraps up the challenge level with extremely narrow turns and demands skilled use of brake and accelerator coupled with awareness of the width of your vehicle. This time the challenge is reaching the goal area without touching any of the cones. If you do, you'll be disqualified instantly. During the challenge, you'll encounter a series of tight 90-degree turns and a section where you'll have to reverse your car. To assist you in this, make use of the R1 button to change to an external view, and then use the L1 button to change to the rear view. Enjoy your coffee break. Welcome to lesson 37. Well, now you've come to the last section of the bonus lessons, offering the ultimate challenge. Starting with this lesson, you'll be racing all-out time trials on all of the tracks you've trained on so far. You have only one lap, so use your full repertoire of techniques to negotiate the course as fast as you can. The first track is the race circuit at Tsukuba in Japan. Take as many practice runs as you need to explore the intricacies of this famous track, now representing a standard for measuring car performance. When you minimise your braking to improve the time on this circuit, you'll notice that a line that enters the corner towards the inside is better on many of the corners than the standard in-out-in line. Now, best of luck with the lesson. Welcome to lesson 38. The second of the time trials takes place on the Fuji International Speedway. Fuji International is 4.4 kilometers long with a 1.5 kilometer final stretch. The average speed on the track is extremely high, and the success of your time trial will depend on your ability to take advantage of that potential. Fuji also has its share of ascents and descents, so be careful of braking adjustments as the track declines. One of the nuances of Fuji International is that it's difficult to determine the correct braking points for the corners. Mastering this will only come with considerable practice. Your exit speed from corner B will greatly affect your overall time, as this exit will determine the speed on the next straight. Well then, good luck with this lesson. Welcome to lesson 39. For this lesson, you'll go for the fastest possible lap on a tough track, the New York City course. This time, you'll be taking the time trial alone, so you can go for the best line on every corner. Aim for smooth control of your car in order to closely follow the ideal racing line. To achieve a fast time, you should remember the braking points, use the full width of the course, and follow a line that slices through the complex corners. Take care. Best of luck. Welcome to lesson 40. This lesson is a time trial on a dirt surface track. You'll be going solo on the Grand Canyon rally course, so give it all you've got. It's been some time since you experienced driving on this surface, so be sure to recall the differences in the handling of the car compared to the tarmac equivalent. You've encountered portions of the course in earlier lessons, but this is the first time you've made a full circuit. There are many different types of corners, and the course is very long, with constantly undulating terrain. Just remembering the course is a difficult task in itself. So practice continuously until the movement of the car feels like an extension of your body. Best of luck with this challenge. Well done, you've now reached the final lesson. This is the last bonus race in Gran Turismo 4 Prologue. Appropriately enough, this is a serious challenge, a time trial on the Italian town course using the classic Lancia Delta HF Integrale rally car. You'll have to use your best techniques to overcome all the challenges on this track, including narrow-walled streets, steep hills and blind 90-degree bends. Choosing when to go for all-out high speed and when to sacrifice speed for technique are the most fascinating strategic aspects of this course. Experience the thrill of rallying in a European setting and enjoy this, your last lesson. And as always, best of luck. Nice work! You've finally completed the purple section of the board. This marks the completion of the bonus lessons. Thank you for playing to the end. We hope this gives you a glimpse of what to look forward to in Gran Turismo 4.